economic slavery and being depressed and not having sufficient, you actually value yourself. You discover who you are and you tap into that resource, and then you educate yourself. And once you do that, you now I said earlier in my quote, I said a man, whatever he knows determines how much he has access to. But once you know more about who you are and the gift that you have to offer, you now have more access to the world.
Powerful stuff. If you're just tuning in, good afternoon. I'm Desmond Saunders, and this is Leading Voices. Leading Voices is an intimate portrait into the lives of extraordinary Bahamians who are dominating industries and shaping culture. Today on our show, I have the privilege of talking to Mr. Shamron Monroe. He's an international inspirational speaker. They call him Mr. Motivator, or Mr. Motivator, as he's affectionately called. He's also an author and the youth pastor of Bahamas Faith Ministries International. Shamron, let's talk about Christmas. What does Christmas mean to you?
Well, Christmas for me, it definitely means family, intimate family. When I say intimate family, I could just remember the days, even when we did not have enough. My mother used to make sure that, whenever they were giving out the ham and turkey, she would make sure that she's baking. I mean, even in that small kitchen, the oven was working, the stove was on, she was cooking. And she was going to make sure that we had the best meal ever. And so I got my birthday gift during Christmas, November, so I didn't worry. I was like, when Christmas comes, you're going to get something great. So I got a good cooked meal. My sisters and we got a good cooked meal, my brothers. And Mom made sure that we had the best.
Do you think we've lost the true essence of what Christmas represents?
I think we have. We've actually made it a social trivia thing. We've monetized it. I think really it's really about family. It's about family and focusing on the meaning of Christmas, the gift that was given to humanity, the gift of love, the gift of peace, the gift of hope. And matter of fact, there were the times when we experienced the most hope. It would just always, the atmosphere would just change everything. No matter what we were going through, we would cry sometimes, didn't get Christmas presents. But Mom would tell us, I love you guys, and I want you all to know that next year is going to be great.
Wow.
And we would always, she would always inspire us to dream. And that's what made me a dreamer. And she would tell me, Shamron, you can become anything you become.
So Christmas really means that gift of hope.
Yes, hope. And even though...
favorable expectation.
There you go. And you know what? And I have to say this because I've shared this on my Facebook Live. Hope is actually in the word prosperity.
Wow.
The word prosperity, P-R-O, pro has to do with an individual, and pro is also an event. And spare is actually a root word, the Latin root word for hope. So prosperity is a hope that everybody is actually waiting to have. They just haven't met the right person or interacted at the right event.
Wow.
Because once you connect with the right pro, the pro will help you become a better pro. And once you connect with the right pro who becomes a better pro, then they will actually, because pro breeds pro. If you're pro and you're teaching me, I'm going to become a pro, and that opens opportunity for me to have a hope and a future. So I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. Why? I wish above all things that you interact with more people who are pros and you get to meet them. Right now we are meeting with an event, and this event is right now on this day, right now on this radio, and you are the pro. And you are making me a better pro at this event. And this event at the end of the day, because you approve me and I am now submitted to you when I'm now prosperous.
So great stuff, great stuff. We're about to wrap up, but I want to talk a little bit more about Christmas because we just celebrated Thanksgiving.
Yes.
About to enter Christmas. A number of retailers, this is expected to be a successful season, but for some Bahamian families, it's not so flourishing. Not going to look so flourishing this time around. What advice do you have for Bahamian families that may not be joyful and hopeful this upcoming Christmas season? What quick advice you can?
Well, it's going to be interesting. I would say focus on what you have, not what you don't have. Connect with the people who matter most. And the things that matter most and the things that you have will become great, will be more. Once you magnify that, that is something you can be grateful for, and that's something you can cherish and take into 2019. Because the people that matters most to you will always give you a touch of joy and will give you hope to face tomorrow. And once you do, you appreciate of what you have, all that you have, it will give you an expectation to get more. And trust me, that happens. It sounds like it's not true, but I'm telling you, it is just that true.
6,000 Bahamians still without power. Crime continues to dominate national headlines. Healthcare, we're still grappling with the intricacies and actually the details of how we're going to promote national healthcare. It's still with several weeks before the new year rolls in. What advice do you have for Bahamians who are still doubtful, hopeless, fearful? What advice do you have as we enter 2019?
Again, I have to use the word pro for prosperity here. Because why? It's in the minds of everybody. The individual that's on the block, the person that's on the top of the chain, on the corporate ladder, we're all prosperous. Now you might say, how does a person on the block and the person in the corporate office, they're both prosperous? The difference is the prosperity for the individual that's on the blocks, that's living in despair, is that their hope is not big enough. What I'm asking you before you enter 2019 is to begin to dream bigger. Because the bigger you allow your hope to become, the bigger your expectation of meeting the person that's going to transform and change your life is going to happen even more. And guess what? That person is going to represent the very thing that you are desiring. And God knows that so much. So that's why he put within each one of us a mechanism called faith. And faith and hope goes together. Because the minute you begin to allow your hope to get bigger, your faith gets bigger.
Wow.
Your faith comes alive. And when your faith comes alive, your faith connects you to the right person who brings you closer to your connectivity, that which God has designed you to be, which is prosperous. And so therefore, if you once had corned beef and then tomorrow you now have chicken, hey, you just got prosperous. You just added a little bit more.
You just came into a new dimension. Yes.
And you're now living a better life. Wow. And so you've got to allow your hope to get bigger. Do not lose hope, because a hopeless man is a man that's dead already.
Exactly.
But a man that still has hope, there's always a way for a better day.
A quick prayer as we close our show today on this Sunday afternoon on Leading Voices, as we enter the Christmas season and about to bring in 2019. A quick
economic slavery and being depressed and not having sufficient. You actually value yourself. You discover who you are and you tap into that resource, and then you educate yourself. And once you do that,